Now, from Stage 21 at Universal Studios at Universal Orlando Resort.
Welcome, wrestling fans, back to the XWF here on the Nation Network. What a card of wrestling we've got coming your way tonight. Some of the biggest, greatest names, the New Age Horsemen, are in the house, and tonight they look to walk away with the dynasty intact. There's only one member of the team that currently doesn't have gold around his waist, and that may change tonight. Well, not only might it change tonight, I believe it's going to change tonight, because Ravishing Rick Rude is going after the brand new television champion AJ Styles. And as great as AJ Styles may be as an up-and-coming talent, he's not in the league of a Ravishing Rick Rude. Tonight, I believe the New Age Horsemen walk out of here with all the gold. Indeed, that's a possibility. We're also going to see the Nature Boy Ric Flair in action. Non-title match in our main event, going up against longtime rival, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, there's such a history between these two dudes, and I'll tell you, Dusty Rhodes has got to win the match if he wants to get a title match. We're kicking things off tonight, however, with the hardcore division, the recent addition here to the XWF. This is a fatal four-way match for the top contenders for the XWF Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Abyss. Will be in action in this one, and you've got to figure Abyss has to be watching on from the back. You never know about Abyss. He's a different kind of character altogether, but he should have some interest in the outcome of this one for sure, because at some point in time, I believe he'll be beating each one of these dudes, but right now, the number one man will be the one that comes out on top of this opening contest. Also in action later tonight, Arn Anderson, the Enforcer, member of the New Age Horsemen, will be in singles competition. We understand that Teddy Long has a major announcement to make here in just a little while. You won't want to miss that. Well, every time Teddy Long has a major announcement to make, it tends to shake up the business just a little bit. Speaking of shaking up the business, look who is here in the XWF. It's a Sandman.
And from Philadelphia, weighing in at 240 pounds, the Sandman.
Well, you thought the neighborhood went to hell when New Jack joined up. Take a look at this. The original beer-swilling, cigarette-smoking fiend, the Sandman, is here in the XWF, and if it wasn't extreme before, it certainly is now. You are going to be seeing four of the all-time greats when it comes to extreme wrestling. These are the guys that put it on the map. These are the guys that know all the tricks of the trade. And take a look at the Sandman. He walks down there with the weapon in hand. He's always ready for business. Well, you wouldn't think it to look at him, but he's a former world champion in the ECW. Say what you will about that, but I'll tell you right now, he managed to pull that off when there was quite an impressive roster of people all fighting for that title, and it really meant something. We look at the landscape of professional wrestling today. Nobody competes with what we have going on here in the XWF, not for my money. Well, if I thought that were true, then I'd go somewhere else, but I know that the best talent is right here in the XWF, and that's why I'm here. I can go any place I want, but I want to be associated with just the very best, and that's what we have right now. Talk about a ringing endorsement. It doesn't get much bigger than that. This crowd going crazy for the entrance of the Sandman. He's already drawn first blood, so that's out of the way. Fortunately for him, this is not a first blood match. And here comes the fourth member of this four-way matchup. And again, the crowd standing on their feet. The man who shocked the world with his appearance in the XWF 2 weeks ago. This is New Jack. Well, I think the only thing a little bit more impressive than his win-loss record might be his criminal record. This man is definitely not one to worry about the rules. That's why Extreme Rules suit him perfectly fine. Definitely a very colorful path for this man on his road to the world of professional wrestling, as well as the road to the XWF. All four entrants have made their way to the ring, and we are about to kick this one off, ladies and gentlemen. Bell sounds and action underway. Cactus Jack pairing off with the Sandman early on. Rob Van Dam with a big roll. Look at Rob Van Dam quickly to the top rope, and New Jack on the receiving end. Early on, and it's first pinfall or submission, ladies and gentlemen. Early on, though. All four men just getting right into it. Look at New Jack biting on Rob Van Dam's face. Sandman's already brought that kendo stick into the match. Cactus Jack trying to get a pinfall. Here's the thing, you've got to pay close attention to all of your opponents. Not just the one that you're going at it with, because in the meantime, the other two might be going for a pinfall, and you got to break it up. First pinfall, first submission, it's all over. So you've got to know everything going on around you in that ring, or else you might be on the short end of the stick. Well, you've only got a 25% chance of winning the match to begin with, and you can definitely lower those odds by losing focus on what's going on around you. Right now, it is Cactus Jack, Rob Van Dam battling it out in the corner. Rob Van Dam, Irish whip by Cactus Jack. And now Cactus comes up with a bulldog. Sandman, meantime, with a trash can, didn't get to use it. Cactus has him up in the air, slams him down. All four of these guys are going to give everything they've got. They're going to push this thing to the max level. We see a kendo stick. We see a trash can. God knows what else might be used before it's all said and done. And now take a look at this. New Jack had that kendo stick, but never got to use it. Oh, what a move right there. Again, to the point made earlier. You have to pay attention because Cactus Jack lost sight of the Sandman, and he paid for it. Sandman now hammered away on him. Big headbutt right there by Cactus Jack, stomping away on New Jack, or I beg your pardon, Rob Van Dam. And now look at this. Sandman has got him up. What's he going to do with him? Well, I thought he was going to smash it onto that garbage can for a moment, but he didn't do it. Not sure he had the chance to do it. Cactus Jack thinks he's got him beat. I doubt it. It's a little early in the match for that. And A lot more damage, I would think, would have to be done before you can get away with a victory over the Sandman.
Take a look at New Jack now. He's got a sledgehammer in there. Right to the ribs.
Mandible Claw by Mankind, or I should say Cactus Jack, his alter ego. And look at New Jack with a small package of all things. New Jack gonna try and steal one.
I didn't think New Jack knew how to apply a small package.
Cactus Jack with a double arm DDT on the table.
Should have gone for the cover, but I'll tell you, Rob Van Dam very well likely may have broken that one up.
Cactus goes for the cover. Sandman has to change plans and break up the pin attempt. New Jack still has not barely moved. That double arm DDT really took its toll on New Jack.
Yeah, he could have been pinned. There's no two ways about it. But again, the other three guys in the ring are going to all want the same thing.
And now the Sandman handing out naps one after another.
He was until he ran into New Jack.
Face first, Sandman eating the canvas on that drop toe hold. And now look at this, working together, Rob Van Dam and New Jack with Cactus Jack. Oh, and they drop him straight down in the middle of the ring.
Well, don't be surprised to have very brief alliances made in a match like this, but it can't last long because each one of these men wants the same exact thing.
Another Bulldog, and Rob Van Dam is in a lot of pain. Writhing on the ground is Rob Van Dam. Oh, and he's been busted open. Van Dam has been split open. He is bleeding.
And another double team right there on Rob Van Dam. So from bad to worse for RVD. The blood indeed is flowing. Look at this. Sandman coming off with a swanton.
And New Jack gonna try and pull it off here. There's one. There's two in the last second, saved by Cactus Jack.
Well, that was the smartest pin attempt I've seen of the night so far because he had the chance. The other two guys, one was down, the other was outside the ring. He had a great opportunity to put this one away.
That is the key factor right now, is to not only get someone in position to be pinned or forced to submit, but to make sure the other people aren't able to break it up in the meantime. Flying headbutt by New Jack as he now gets tied up with Cactus Jack. Brings him over to the corner, head first into the turnbuckle.
Cactus Jack doing a number on New Jack, but there's that trash can right to the head of Rob Van Dam. If he wasn't bleeding before, it's going to be a whole lot worse now.
Cactus Jack now goes outside with a steel chair. Rob Van Dam with a monkey flip of all things. Meantime, Sandman going to try and get the pinfall right here. Will it be enough? Save was made.
Van Dam able to get in there just in time to make the save. And again, that was a good opportunity to go for the pin attempt. Van Dam and Cactus Jack were both outside the ring dealing with their own business at that time.
Mandible claw once again by Cactus Jack, but wasn't able to draw a submission from New Jack. There's a double arm DDT on Rob Van Dam. Go for the cover, and it's all over.
Yeah, I believe that was the biggest mistake he could have made right there. He had both guys laid out.
Instead, he's got a table. Cactus, what has he got in mind here? He had New Jack all set up for that table, but then turned his attention to Rob Van Dam instead. And now it's the Sandman. Going for the pile driver. New Jack caught him with a pile driver and go for the cover right now. There's one. Save made by Cactus Jack. Again, pay attention to your surroundings.
Wow, big chop right to the throat, totally legal in this match.
Pile driver. Once again, one of the moves that Cactus Jack is known for. New Jack and Rob Van Dam were tying up, didn't notice the pinfall going on, almost cost him.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam was the one who would have made the biggest mistake in that one because he was the one that could have possibly broken up. But he wasn't paying close attention, and that's going to hurt you in a match like this.
Gut wrench suplex by the Sandman. We've got bodies down. And we've got fire in the ring.
He set the table on fire, and now this is going to be bad news for somebody.
Van Dam has got him on the ropes. Fly cross body block. Both men go out to the floor. Sandman trying to bring Cactus Jack over to that flaming table, and Cactus having nothing to do with it.
Well, it's a little bit of back and forth action right now between those two, and there goes the table.
DDT. Van Dam once again is busy. 2 count. He hit New Jack with that spike pile driver. However, Sandman was there to break it up.
Yeah, that cradle pile driver is a devastating maneuver. Jerry Lynn, of course, the one who made that famous. Rob Van Dam has a version of it that's highly effective as well, and where else would he have learned it? The feud he had with Jerry Lynn was absolutely legendary, some of the greatest wrestling you'll ever see.
Sandman dropping Cactus Jack. Meantime, Rob Van Dam with a rolling thunder. And look at New Jack right back up. Belly to belly. Can you believe this?
Every time I see New Jack pull out a wrestling move, I am a little bit surprised. See, that's more what I would expect from New Jack.
Top to the throat. And now New Jack with another big pile driver. Van Dam has got a steel chair, which is completely legal. Just as legal as a hammerlock.
Yeah, but I would dare say the chair would be a little more effective than a hammerlock.
Shot to the midsection. And now, what's going on here? Butterfly pedigree, and down goes Cactus. Meantime, on the top rope. Van Dam, wait a minute, what's going to happen here? Down on top of the trash can.
He hit him with that Frankensteiner off the top rope, put him right through.
Meantime, the Van Daminator takes down Cactus Jack, and there is the cradle pile driver. Goes for the cover. And New Jack able to make the save.
Well, the crowd getting their money's worth on this match, I can tell you right now. And here comes a double team again. There will be momentary partnerships made in a match like this, but it can't last very long, and it doesn't.
Cactus driver goes for the cover. And Van Dam there to quickly break up the pin attempt. Otherwise, this one would have probably been over. Van Dam missing with the springboard. Oh, watch out, watch out. That steel chair right there. And the Sandman drops it with a pile driver on the steel chair. That's it.
He should have took a look around. He would have realized New Jack was just biding his time. And New Jack was there right at the right moment to break it up. Look at this. Sandman biting away on the head of New Jack.
Van Daminator. Van Dam down to the top rope. Everyone Everyone is down. He missed.
Wow, this one's crazy. Van Dam could have gone for the pin and probably would have had the victory, but he wanted to hit the signature.
It would have all but guaranteed him a win, but instead he comes up short. Now it's Cactus Jack who is applying the mandible claw. Shoulders are down. And now New Jack tries to steal one on the other side. This is absolute chaos here in our opening contest.
You get to a certain point in the match where you start to ask yourself, is anyone ever going to win this match?
Cactus Jack biting on the head of the Sandman. Sandman now hammering away on New Jack. Meantime, it's Rob Van Dam. Could be the split leg. Indeed it is. Goes for the cover. Sandman doesn't know what's happening behind him. Van Dam steals the victory here tonight.
Well, it's not stealing a victory. He earned the victory. Let's not take anything away from him. That was a tremendous effort all the way by all four men. But at the end of the day, it's Rob Van Dam who had the foresight to take it to the finish line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take a look back at the action, and there was plenty to be seen. So many near misses in this one. So many opportunities for each man to pull out a victory. As we see here, Cactus with that Cactus driver.
And it wasn't just about the moments that almost were, it's the moments that weren't, because you saw so many big misses that took people out of their game. But here's the big finish, if I'm not mistaken. There's the split leg. In the meantime, Sandman lost his focus that there were two other people in the match. He couldn't even see it.
Here is your winner, Rob Van Dam.
A bloody Rob Van Dam victorious. If you're Abyss, you know who your #1 challenger is going to be. Plenty more action to come, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us here for the XWF on the Nation Network.
He's American man.
Wrestling fans, make sure you join us on Saturday mornings right here for Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. All of the greats from the past will be right here on Saturday mornings here on the Nation Network. Names like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Magnificent Morocco, and many, many more. All the action right here on the Nation Network Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you gonna do when the legends of wrestling run wild on you? Fans, we are back here. XWF Wrestling action. What an opening match we saw. It was off the chart.
Well, it was a tremendous matchup to behold, and we're getting ready to see another one. It's a non-title match as we take a look at the dominant female here in the XWF, Alundra Blaze. Ever since defeating Chyna, something nobody was able to do for nearly 2 years.
Well, this may be a non-title match, but it's still going to be a big challenge for the women's champion. She'll be going up against a former Divas champion, a former tag team champion.
I'll say one thing right now. Alundra Blaze may be one of the most in-shape competitors here in the XWF. She trains in so many different disciplines when it comes to combat sports. It's not just wrestling for her.
Indeed. She has mastered karate as well as some forms of jiu-jitsu as well. She's an all-around competitive athlete. Michelle McCool, indeed, one of the pioneers of the modern wrestling when it comes to the women's division. She was on the cusp of the women's revolution, and now she's here on the XWF and looking across the ring at the best of the best. They tie up. Alundra Blaze trying to continue dominance here in the women's division. Backs her up into the corner. Let's see if we can get a clean break from the official. Oh, look at this. Michelle McCool taking advantage of the break. Backed up into the ropes again, and referee once again going to step in between these two, or at least attempt to. And another sucker shot right there. Referee talking to Michelle McCool about the breaks.
Well, the thing is, when you do that enough times to someone like Alundra Blaze, you might piss her off a little bit, and that's not going to be a good place for you to be either.
Alundra goes for a quick cover there on Michelle McCool, and it's not going to happen. There's the headbutt. Not something we're used to seeing. Of course, Michelle McCool is very deeply involved when it comes to the world of professional wrestling, not just as an in-ring competitor. He has even helped train those that are up and coming in the industry. One count, and again able to kick out.
Well, of course, everyone knows by now Michelle McCool, the wife of the legendary Undertaker. Both of those individuals have a very deep affection for the world of professional wrestling and for those who partake in it.
Irish whip to the ropes, back out front, back elbow, and the champion just got rocked. Michelle McCool took a moment to almost mock the champion, and she'll pay for that.
Not sure what she was thinking, because you do not want to play with Alundra Blaze. The one person who could actually challenge and defeat China on multiple occasions when nobody else could.
We haven't seen much of the 9th wonder of the world since losing that championship title. I understand it was very emotional for her, the fact that Alundra Blaze appears to have her number. Nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker now, and Michelle McCool starting to take over in this one. Blaze with a nice block, has her up in the air, slams her hard to the mat.
Oh man, stiff knee right to the head, and that's where those mixed martial art training sessions are coming into play.
Yeah, the kick's coming in as well, and she is an all-around threat, Alundra Blaze.
Just ask China, she'll tell you all about it.
Tying her up in the tree of woe, and now Blaze stomping away and kicking away at the midsection of Michelle McCool. Rolls her over, Boston Crab. Michelle McCool is in trouble.
She's making her bend, and I'll tell you, the body's not designed to bend that way, especially not the back. You start to feel some really sharp pain shooting through your body as you start putting pressure on those lower thoracic.
Michelle McCool now on the second rope, biding her time with a cross body block. Think she's got her? I doubt it. That's a one. And Alundra Blaze able to kick out of that one. Snapmare takes her over. Now Michelle McCool, relying on some of her own abilities, got caught up in the crossfire there. Off the ropes, dropped down by the champion. Leapfrog. Spinning heel kick right to the face. That's got to be it.
That did a lot of damage. Michelle McCool really tasted that one.
And now a Lunger Blaze. Series of chops. And another back heel kick.
That winding effect, she really connects with that one. And now she wants her up on her feet. The champion coming off the top rope. You never know what's in her mind.
Cross body press off the top rope. Shades of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And a Lunger once again waiting on Michelle McCool to get back up. Going for that trademark German suplex. The shoulders are down. She kicked out. Michelle McCool doesn't know what day it is. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front. Another spinning heel kick.
Well, I got to tell you, Lunger Blaze a little surprised, I think, that she was able to kick out of that German suplex when most people don't. And now perhaps she's just going to punish her a little bit more for doing it.
Was going for a variation of the camel clutch there, but the legs of Michelle McCool underneath the bottom rope. You got to break the hold if any part of the opponent is under the ropes or over the ropes for that matter. And this time she does hook the leg. And Michelle McCool still able to kick out. Another German suplex and the shoulders are down. And this time she gets the win. Big victory for the champion. Hold on just a moment.
That's Bull Nakano.
Bull Nakano is in the XWF.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Spice beef. Spice. Little excitement. Step into a Slim Jim. Need a little excitement? Step into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the International Wrestling Television Championship.
All right, fans are still buzzing about what we just saw at the conclusion of our last match. Bull Nakano is here in the XWF.
Well, Lunger Blaze has been sitting on top of the throne now for several months. However, Bull Nakano is someone who's always had her number in the past.
There is indeed a rich history between those two ladies. Bobby the Brain Heenan bringing ravishing Rick Rude down to the ring for his match against AJ Styles. This is for the television championship, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I said it at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to reiterate it right now. Ravishing Rick Rude, in my opinion, will be adding gold to the stable of the New Age Horsemen right here tonight.
Well, in order to do that, he's going to have to get past this young man right here, AJ Styles, and it's easier said than done. The Universal Television Champion, his first title defense since winning the title. He's got to control the championship for 4 consecutive weeks. After that, he will sacrifice the title, but he will name his champion that he gets to challenge, whether that be for the tag team titles, for the Cruiserweight Division Championship, or for the heavyweight title itself.
Well, for him to maintain it for 4 weeks, he'll have to get through Ravishing Rick Rude for this one, and I just don't see it happening.
Well, as confident as you are, perhaps Ravishing Rick Rude is as well, and that could be the downfall.
Well, I don't think that Ravishing Rick Rude would be overconfident. I just think that there's a reasonable confidence that you should have. There's a great experience difference, and not only that, Ravishing Rick Rude, he's put together. AJ Styles is in great shape, but he's no Ravishing Rick Rude. You're talking about the winner of the Jesse the Body Award.
Weighing in at 240 pounds, Ravishing Rick Rude. And his opponent from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 232 pounds, the International Wrestling Television Champion, AJ
All right, there's the championship title. It's on the line here tonight. Will Ravishing Rick Rude bring the dynasty to the New Age Horsemen here in the XWF by controlling all gold? We take a look at the Universal Television Championship, and it's on the line here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This promises to be a tremendous matchup. Bell sounds actions underway. They tie up in the middle of the ring. You see already Bobby Heenan watching intently from the sidelines. And look at that. AJ Styles got the strength advantage early on. Once again.
Well, I don't know so much that it's a strength battle right now. It's a collar and elbow. It's more about leverage. And I'll say this. Styles had good leverage advantage there, but you just saw Ravishing Rick Rude shove him off as well, and it looked like a lot less effort had to be used. I mean, just compare these two dudes standing next to each other. Which one do you think would win?
Well, if it was a body contest, no question about it. Ravishing Rick Rude is one of the greatest, if not all-time greatest. And AJ already going for a cover.
Well, the best thing AJ Styles can do is go for a pinfall any opportunity he gets, because he won't get many anyway.
And those stiff kicks raining in on Ravishing Rick Rude. Drives the knee right to the head. Early on in this one, AJ Styles looking to defend that championship, and perhaps hearing enough people echoing thoughts like yours that he's not in the same league as Ravishing Rick Rude. That might be the motivator he needs. And now there's a baseball bat, courtesy of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Well, he's not using it. He just wanted it not to be in the way. He was out there on the floor, didn't want to stand on it or anything, roll an ankle.
And now AJ giving Heenan a mouthful. Springboard comes down across the back. And I've got to tell you, you're predicting Ravishing Rick Rude, but it has been all AJ Styles.
Well, I'll say right now I'm a little surprised that things have gone as well for AJ Styles early on as they have. But it is early on. Let's see what happens as we move along.
Finally, Ravishing Rick Rude putting some offense together of his own now. Raking the eyes deep into the eyes.
See right there, you see Ravishing Rick Rude. He was a tremendous amateur wrestler. One thing about Minnesota, I can tell you firsthand, when it comes to wrestlers, we know our business.
Indeed, some of the greatest names of all time have come out of Minnesota, including yourself, Ravishing Rick Rude, Kurt Hennig, just to name a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
There's that Pele kick, and that just dropped Rick Rude. Goes for the cover, thinks he's got him, but he does not.
Just a 1 count, but I give him credit. He's putting up a good fight here against Ravishing Rick. Didn't think he would have a real big chance in this match, but so far he's done well.
AJ sends him to the ropes, back out front, went for the drop kick. Rude was ready for that. And now the Ravishing One sends him into the turnbuckle. Caught him. I'm not sure if that was to the throat or to the eyes, and then follows it up in the corner. And now look at Heenan having some words with the ringsiders. Ravishing Rick Rude goes for the 2 count.
See, now we're at that point where we're getting into the deep water, and here's where the experience is going to pay off, in my opinion. Ravishing Rick Rude knows he's got control.
Pile driver. The move that's been outlawed in many promotions over the years. And it's a 2 count. Rude awakening.
That's all she wrote right there. Look at this. What an arrogant, cocky cover for the brand new television champion. And that's why I'm the man who calls it like it is.
You called it, no doubt about it. AJ put up a tremendous fight. Looked like things were going his way until they weren't.
Yeah, the pile driver, one of the most lethal moves in the history of wrestling. And then he hit him with that rude awakening moments later.
We're going to see it right here. The rude awakening. Talk about a 1-2, and that's both of those are affecting the neck. The dynasty is now complete. Ravishing Rick Rude has added the missing piece to the puzzle. The New Age Horsemen hold the gold in the XWF.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to XWF. Now, as a general manager of this program, but sometimes I have to make the difficult decisions. Now, recently, I decided to incorporate the former IWF Television Championship here into the XWF, and it is considered to be the Universal Television Championship. Now, it has come to my attention that in recent weeks, Hulk Hogan has been running around here with the IWF Heavyweight Championship, and since that organization no longer exists, in good conscience, I cannot allow that to continue. So what I have done is I have had commissioned a brand new championship, and it will be the International Heavyweight Championship, and it belongs to Hulk Hogan. So Hulkster, if you want to come out here and retrieve your championship, player. For everything you've done and for what you helped us with when we were having our battles with the IWF, I am proud to present you with this, the new International Heavyweight Championship, player. Holla, holla, holla. Hulk Hogan, the International Heavyweight Champion.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he at least hasn't earned it by the season 4. Congratulations,
Sidney Sweeney has great genes.
All right, fans, ready for singles competition here featuring people who are normally involved in tag teams. Take a look at
The
this.
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing Demolition from parts unknown. Weighing in at 238 pounds, X.
Demolition Axe will be in singles competition against the Enforcer, Arn Anderson, as we take a look at all three members of Demolition reunited here under the XWF banner.
Yeah, Smash was missing in action in the IWF, but since joining the XWF, Teddy Long made it clear a few weeks ago that there was some free agents out there that he was willing to sign, and this is some of them right here. And I can't argue. I mean, you're talking about one of the most dominant tag teams in the history of professional wrestling, and now they're on the XWF roster.
Here come the tag team champions. Again, this will be singles competition.
Representing the Four Horsemen from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 257 pounds, one half of the Extreme Tag Team Champions, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
The New Age Horsemen are here. Earlier tonight, we saw Ravishing Rick Rude find the missing piece to the puzzle as he becomes the new television champion.
Well, no titles are on the line here tonight, but I'll tell you, it doesn't matter because it's only a question of when will Demolition be going up against members of the New Age Horsemen. In this case, of course, the Brainbusters, Tully and Arn, and it's going to be a hell of a match when it happens.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I am all on board for that one. There is definitely history going way back between these two teams. Axe coming up the top rope, driving the knee, and Arn Anderson is in a lot of trouble. There's two. Holy cow, this match was almost over in a heartbeat.
Well, here's the thing you have to think about when you're Arn Anderson right now. There's nothing to really win in this match. I mean, a win is a victory, whatever. He's still going to be the champion no matter the outcome. But you don't want to run the risk of any injury. But by the same token, if you can do something to Demolition Axe or Smash or Blast, any one of them, that will leave them at less than 100%. That'll make it easier for you when it's your time.
And I think that's the reason somebody like the Enforcer Arn Anderson would take this kind of a challenge, that he might be able to soften them up a little bit so that when the tag team titles are on the line, they may have an advantage.
Pretty much exactly what I just said, isn't it?
I'm just reiterating.
Oh, reiterating.
Goes for the count and cover again, gets a 1 count, and Arn Anderson, former world television champion in his own right, dominant one at that. Big splash off the top rope. We're seeing a lot of unusual tactics here at the part of Axe. We don't see him going up to that top rope that often in the past. And perhaps just one of the changes that he has decided to make here in the XWF.
Well, it is a new day. There's a new competition, even though it's people you might be familiar with, and all the more reason to change it up a little bit.
Spine buster by the Enforcer, and that just turns the pendulum completely behind him. was trying to go for that DDT. Axe had it scouted and he was ready to block it. Nice back elbow that time by Arn Anderson. Irish whips him off the ropes. Nice move, Anderson, with a couple of kicks. Going for the cover. And now Bobby the Brain Heenan, what is he doing? Taking off the pad to expose the steel ring in the turnbuckle. Well, bottom line is Bobby the Brain Heenan's going to do everything he can to give his men every advantage that they can have. It's up to the referee to maintain law and order, and right now this referee not doing a particularly good job of it, in my opinion. Here's a cover. There's a 2 count, and Anderson able to get that shoulder up once again. And now finally the official going to work on that turnbuckle. Meantime, Axe is on the top turnbuckle once again. Top rope comes down, and nobody home.
Well, the point was made earlier that that's really not his comfort zone. We're not used to seeing him up there doing that type of stuff. And that may have played a role in the lack of success he's had with it.
Bobby Heenan just throws a steel chair into the ring. Referee got caught up in the middle of the action. There's a slam almost on top of the chair.
Well, Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'm not sure what he was thinking because it's only going to end in a disqualification if he uses the chair.
Oh, he's got him in a submission. Locked it in deep, and Arn Anderson is fading quick.
Anderson's going to have to reach down deep to get out of this problem.
Running power slam goes for the cover. The Enforcer's in trouble. Axe gets the victory. That's got to give them a psychological advantage heading into a title match, I would think.
Well, you know what? Perhaps. Hard to say. Arn Anderson can definitely shake it off if anybody can. But this goes back to what I said. Hardly worth having the match when all you have to do is worry about getting injured. But who knows? Perhaps during the course of this match, some of the stuff that he pulled out will work for him in the long run.
It looks to me like Axe was just too much from the power department for Arn Anderson.
Well, yeah, he definitely has a strength advantage over Double A. I won't take that from him. And perhaps in this particular match, it was enough to make the difference. But it really doesn't matter in the big picture at all for the Horsemen because they know when the tag team titles are on the line, it's going to be a different outcome.
Well, for tonight, Demolition reigns supreme. Still to come, the heavyweight champion one-on-one with Dusty Rhodes. Stay with us.
Well, let me tell everybody something. America is back. 2024 was a great year. And in 2025, we made the decision to make America great again. And what better way? With real American beer. We're bringing America back together in 2025 with real American beer. So what you gonna do when real American beer and all my Hulkamaniacs run wild on you?
Fans, we are back. Whoa, just a moment. Ric Flair was heading down to the ring for his match with Dusty Rhodes.
Well, Perfect not going to wait, and he has just attacked the heavyweight champion. The animosity between these two dudes, it is still there.
Referees trying to break this up, and they are escorting Kurt Hennig back to the locker room. In the meantime, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes not one to miss an opportunity.
Yeah, how about that? Real sportsmanlike of him, isn't it? You just saw him get attacked from behind and not even letting him in the ring. Now he goes after the Nature Boy here on the ringside area. He's biting him. You've got to be kidding me. What is this?
I believe the fans are chanting, break his fingers. And now Dusty rolls him over for the cover.
This is disgraceful that he's even attempting to beat him like that. What a cheap victory that would have been.
Well, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and the Horsemen normally would be the ones perpetrating that type of an act. It's different when it happens against them.
Yeah, you'll try and justify this any way you can, won't you, George?
I'm just bringing up the obvious. We've seen it time and time again from the Horsemen. It's part of their MO.
Well, we didn't see it tonight, though, did we?
Flair right now is on Queer Street. Dusty Rhodes, what's he going to do in the meantime? From the top rope, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes got caught.
Yeah, because he's not bright enough to get in the ring with the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and Match Wits. Flair baited him into that just so he could get that shot in, and now we're going to see things turn around. He's not called the dirtiest player in the game because it's a cute nickname. It's a name that he has not only earned, but owned, and he is proud of.
Flair going to work and removing the turnbuckle from the opposing corner. Once again, the steel is exposed here, and the question is, will they be able to use that? Going for the cover. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, easily able to escape that one. Flair lines him up. Oh, driving the knee right into the forehead. Big elbow drop, and now the Nature Boy Ric Flair is in control.
Yeah, that's after getting attacked before the match. Don't forget all that. He's essentially going up against two people here in this match.
Goes for the cover, but guess what? The referee is tied up, repairing the turnbuckle that Ric Flair himself removed. And now Dusty Rhodes has got the roll-up.
This is getting from bad to worse. I can't believe the absolute incompetence of this official.
It's not his fault that Ric Flair removed the turnbuckle pad.
No, it's his fault he didn't realize the champion had a pinfall going on.
Off the ropes, back body drop, and Flair for the ride. Dusty had him up, couldn't hold him, and a DDT by the champion. Nature Boy Ric Flair is in control, or he was, and now Dusty with a DDT of his own. The back and forth action taking place here, ladies and gentlemen. Head first into the turnbuckle he goes. Flair going after the leg, and Dusty Rhodes, we know, it has been well documented the amount of damage that has been done to the ankles and knees of Dusty Rhodes over the years, courtesy of the Horsemen.
Yeah, and he's got that spinning toe hold to try and soften him up a bit. Now goes for the cover, and Dusty barely able to kick out of that one.
He needs the ropes to get back to his feet. Flair, there's one of those chops, and now working again on softening up that leg of Dusty Rhodes, and we all know what the plan is, and here it comes. The figure four, if he locks it on, the match may be over.
Yeah, he's got it on him right now. Dusty Rhodes better figure a way. Oh, he got to the ropes. What a coward.
A coward?
A coward. He couldn't have stuck in there, and he couldn't have tried to reverse it. No, he had to just grab the ropes, take the easy way out.
Boy, you really have a revisionist sense of history, don't you? Flair now taking Dusty Rhodes over to the ropes. Back elbow by Dusty, caught Ric Flair, and now here come the elbows. And Flair goes for the ride. Dusty goes for the cover, hooks the leg. Will it be enough to score the victory?
Well, the Nature Boy Ric Flair knows he's got to stay away from the devastating effect of those elbows.
And now the Weaver lock is on. Rhodes has it. And Flair manages to reverse out.
Yeah, there's the difference. You reverse out, you don't grab the ropes like a coward. Flair's a man's man, that's why.
The Nature Boy driving the knee into the lower back of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Flair now deep into the eyes, rake in the face, and Dusty Rhodes is in pain. He is in trouble.
Gonna be really hard to wrestle if you can't see your opponent. That's what the Nature Boy Ric Flair is all about. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Yeah, words to live by, according to Jesse Ventura. Going for the same cover he had on the Legion of Doom recently. And he will not get the victory here. Flair going after the figure four leg lock once again. And Dusty's in trouble.
Why don't you grab the ropes?
It's all over, ladies and gentlemen. There is your winner. Hennig is back for more. Kurt Hennig is on the ramp, and now here comes the Nature Boy Ric Flair. These two are not done.
The champion is not running from the challenge, though, and he's going after the former champion.
They're going to battle it out in the aisle, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of time. We got to go.